All right, is that a long enough break? Speak up if you need more time to do something. Okay, let me go over the schedule now to make sure I have it right. November the 1st, which is a Monday, Jody at 3:30. Brindy at 3 on November 1st. Right, Jody and Brindy?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, and on the 2nd, Tuesday, is Kirsten at 3:45, Rhonda at 3:15.
Yes, that's right.
Yep.
Okay. On the 4th, which is a Thursday, it's Melissa at 3. Jennifer, what time did I put for you, please? Jennifer? Jennifer, are you back from your break? Maybe not yet. On the 8th is Kate and Ginger at 4:15 and Lauren at 3:35. Right, everybody?
Ginger, will that work for you?
When you find out, Kate, let me know. Oh,
I'll make it work.
okay.
Okay. Thanks.
And on the 9th will be Rowdy at 4, and Maria will arrange a Saturday, right?
That's correct.
Okay, the only one I don't have is Jennifer for sure. Jennifer, help me out here. What did we talk about, Jennifer, please? Jennifer, either your mic's not there on or you're not back yet. Okay, I'll catch Jennifer in a minute.
Hey, Louise.
Yes, go ahead, Rowdy.
If you need me to, if you need or want me to do a different date that you're already doing some, we can. You don't have to do a special date just for me.
It'll be okay. I just don't know. I probably will just Zoom it. I don't know yet. I'll ask Chris how to do this for best.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. I'm going to find Maria on a Saturday. I don't know where Chris is. She had all this training she wanted to do with you tonight, but I don't know where she is. So we will start our report. Maybe we'll just have a short meeting, and that'll be fine too. We're covering what we need to cover. Okay, this is your final project. What I need you to do now, please, everybody take a few minutes, 5 or 10 if you need that long, and tell us your progress. As you listen, for example, Rhonda's going to tell you about her project. On an abstract, those are the things you have to have. The overall problem, listen and see if she tells you an overall problem. Listen and see if she tells you a rationale. The why. Why am I doing this problem? And then, what's the theory behind it? D, what's my key question? What is my big question? Will making an agenda of what literacy should be like help the school district do something, you know? And then what method is she going to use? What does she hope to do? And what social change? You see that right there on the abstract? The rest of it is how it gives you a lot of help, and I put it on there before you can read it all. But this is like if you're doing a professional one, it tells you every one of them. But I put up just that one so you could see that one. Okay, this is the one we're going to be using. Any questions what we're going to be doing? You're going to listen to the people, tell about their project. We're going to help them out. We're not going to say that's wrong. We're going to give constructive criticism, or I didn't hear the key question, or what was your statement? We're going to ask her questions and help Rhonda out. Rhonda, will you be our guinea pig and start off first? Since I've been using you as a guinea pig.
Sure, thanks.
Okay, take 5 to 10 minutes, no longer than that, and we'll go through people's reports.
Okay.
But we're here to help now, everybody. So look at these, what the abstract talks about, and let's help Rhonda. Okay, Rhonda, you're on.
Okay, thanks. Well, my project was to create a literacy program for our school. The problem is we do not have a literacy program for our school. In fact, This is the second school I've taught in this district, and neither school has a literacy plan. So, and I think that it is a problem because I think in English at any subject, but since mine's in literacy and English reading, that every school needs to have some sort of a literacy plan that they're working with. Um, the reason why is because I think it's important for teachers to kind of be on the same page, have an understanding that the standards are there for a reason. The standards are there to direct our teaching in the right directions and preparing our students to, to be successful in literacy. And teachers need to, if we, with a literacy plan that we would have, that we would be able to have a more organized way of teaching.
Somebody
Know
check
what
their
to,
mics. We've got children playing or we've got a whole bunch of noise. I can't hear her. Everybody check your
It
mics.
looks like it's coming from a room with no one in it.
With nobody in it. Duchesne High School. Ginger, Kate's
I'm
not
not
there.
at the high school, but I will walk back over there and take care of it.
Yeah, we can hear kids or something. We can't hear Rhonda. Thank you, Ginger.
Okay. I'm going to be gone for a second. We'll take care of it.
Go ahead, Rhonda. I'm sorry.
okay. Anyway, it's important for teachers to have a plan that they can follow. Sometimes teachers there's certain things that teachers like to teach and some things that they don't like to teach. And so they skip the things they don't want to teach because they don't really enjoy teaching that. And I think with a literacy plan, it would help keep teachers kind of on track, teaching what is there and what they should be teaching. Wow.
Rhonda, I think we're going to have to stop a minute until she gets to that room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't hear you, and I want to hear all these good things. So let's wait just a minute until she gets in that room and shuts that mic off. I'm sorry. I want to hear this.
Hey, Louise, by the way, I'm here.
Oh, there's Chris.
Ooh,
There's
yay.
Chris.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
wondered where you were, too.
I blew this off. I thought it was the 22nd, not the 20th. So I'm here in the background.
Okay, what we're waiting for, each of them are looking at this, the abstract of the things they have to do in their project. And they're each going to talk to us about them. And Rhonda's doing it right now. But at Duchesne High, we have an open mic. So Ginger's gone to see why we can hear all those kids because we can't do anything about it. So we're waiting a minute. We're just going to wait for Ginger a minute. And we're each going to write down how we can see. There's the Duchesne High room. That's the one where the noise is coming from. And we couldn't hear Rhonda. So Ginger's going to turn it off, and then maybe we can hear Rhonda.
Hey, Louise,
Yes.
while we wait, where will I find the 12 literacy specialist competencies?
You mean in the standards book, that one?
Yeah, was that, I can't remember. I'm trying to remember where those competencies were that we do that personal assessment of them.
Is it in that book? And I think I put it on one of the classes. I'll look back and see.
I think you did too. I just couldn't remember. Okay, I'll look too.
Yeah, but that's the book
But it was
right
for,
there.
okay.
And then I'll look when we take a break and see where it's at on one, because I know I put it on for you. Okay, we're just waiting. Maybe she's turned that off. Let's wait and see if she turned it off or not. Okay, Rhonda, you want to try again? I hear quiet now. Do you hear quiet? Can you hear quiet? Okay, Rhonda, why don't you go ahead now? Everybody get a notepad and write down if she's going through all these steps. What's the problem? What's the rationale? What's the theory? What's the research? Okay, go ahead, Rhonda. We can hear you now. No, maybe we can't still. Maybe they're still at Duchesne. Rhonda, did I lose you?
No, I'm here.
Oh. That's the room right
Oh
there.
my.
Yeah, that's the room. There's Ginger. There's Ginger. Hallelujah. That's her turning off those mics. Thank you. Okay. Now I think we're ready, Rhonda. Thank you, Ginger.
Okay. We were just talking about the why of having a literacy plan, and that's so to help teachers have a plan to follow so that they can go through and do their lesson planning and things like that, and they're hitting the standards that need to be hit. They have an understanding of, some of the standards that maybe they need to hit a little bit harder in their lesson plans. Some that can be skimmed over, they can see that. And not that they're not doing them, it's just that maybe they don't need to spend that much time on them. And not eliminating things that some teachers don't like to teach. Some subjects they don't like to teach, and so they have a tendency to not teach them at all. And so that's probably the reason why, is to make sure that we're kind of all on the same page and kind of following that plan as we go through our year. I've learned a lot about theories and things like that, and how they work, and what should be focused on, and students that are struggling. And we talked a lot about phonics and things like that, and some of those things, like the phonics instruction, it goes all the way back where students may for some reason have missed a certain segment of phonics instruction, and so they're struggling readers because they can't do that. And so sometimes you have to be able to learn how to recognize those things and back up and reteach those things so that we can help those kids to be able to move further ahead and go on. Let's see. What I hope to do, oh, I lost you. What I hope to do is to create this literacy plan. I've looked at many literacy plans from middle schools, junior highs, all that age group, and I have put one together. It's a rough draft right now, and I've given my teachers a copy of the rough draft, and they're going to go through and see what we need to add or emphasize more and put into that plan so that it will be an effective plan. The changes that I want to see is that I'd like to see our literacy programs be able to have an effect on both the teachers and the students, to see our students, their literacy skills to be able to go up and improve, and be able to watch the the RISE scores in English, be able to rise and go up to a point that you can actually see that what's being taught, the kids are learning and using what they've learned. And I hope that's it.
Okay. Who wants to start? I'll start. Okay. You have a problem. You stated the problem. There's no plan. You stated why you think they are. You think the teachers that they're leaving things out, and that they're choosing what they want, and they need to know the standards. You've looked at a lot of theories. You need to make a key question in one little sentence. I'm going to create a plan, which will do this. Design, you've looked at rough drafts. The changes, you can't say, I'm going to see what effect is, but you did put improved scores and the RISE scores. Don't be too general, be very specific. So you're on a good path. Anybody else? Comments now. Chris, comments? What comments would you like to make? Or Rowdy or Brindy? What comments do you see to help her? Did we lose everybody? Rowdy, Brindy, Chris?
I'll go on.
Okay.
This is reminiscent. This is so reminiscent of my project that I did for my ESL endorsement. And where I was trying to figure out how to put together a program that was consistent, systematic throughout the whole district. And girlfriend, you have a huge job in front of you, and I'm just in awe of what you've been able to get together so far. And I say more power to you. I hope that you're able to get through all of that you have got on your plate right there, because that is one huge job, and I think you're headed in the right direction. Are you going to have changes happen? Absolutely. Be ready for that. But good job.
Anybody else want to make
Thanks.
a comment? Okay, everybody be writing things down, because I may call on you, because I want you to be involved, please. I want you to be cooperative and helping each other. Let's listen to Kirsten now and look to see if what she's doing. Everybody ready with pencil and paper to help Kirsten? Ready, Kirsten?
Alrighty. I was actually just kind of looking at some percentages. I printed all of the data that I have so far. So my overall problem is based from last year. We had 40% of our third graders not proficient in the standard ask and answer questions, both literacy, informative and narrative text. So it was like 38% in one and 40% in the other. And so as I considered my project, my rationale is that John Hattie's has an effect size of using metacognitive strategies. And so I've chosen the metacognitive strategy of questioning to increase comprehension. And my social change is to improve comprehension, to be able to understand what they are reading. And I want to see a 30% increase. So that was my key question. And so my method is I'm teaching the metacognitive strategy of questioning whole group to all of my students. And then I'm reinforcing that in small group in my reading group. So I'm meeting with them and we're using questioning with our books. And then the one problem that I have encountered is that I have 4 students who absolutely cannot read. And when I say cannot read, they cannot read 4 to 10 words on grade level. And so I am meeting with them individually, but the problem is that questioning is, I can read the text, but 1 out of those 3 can only comprehend when it's read orally to him. So I have not found a way to address that issue just yet. I'm thinking I've met the key points. Anything else I need to hit, Louise? Sorry.
So I have a question. You talked
Yes.
about 30% improvement, which is huge, right? So are
Yes.
you wanting a 30% improvement in your comprehension scores, or do you want 30% more kids to be able to pass the DIBELS? What's your 30%?
It's based off of a comprehension test text with ask and answer. So we're looking at the actual standard, not DIBELS.
Great, she's identified that. Anybody else? Brindy, I'm calling on you. What points did you see? Brindy, there you go.
I like how she is focusing in on comprehension, because that's what my students struggle with a lot. And so to really get them to practice those comprehension strategies and skills, I think is ultimately going to help your students in the end of your testing, because from science all the way up to English, it's all about if you comprehend, usually you get the answer right. So that's what I noticed. I like that strategy, using that and implementing that. Don't really have really any questions. I wondered
Okay.
about that 30%, but other
Yeah,
than
me
that,
too. Yeah, that's a lot, and that's a big goal. That's wonderful. Maria,
Kirsten, I
have
had
you
a
done-
question.
Go ahead.
I was just wondering if you, what strategies of questioning, is it just overall general? How structured is your direct instruction in questioning?
Good
Um,
comment.
Out of curiosity.
we'll stop and do think alouds, or we'll say, okay, what are some key words here to help you understand? And so we pause. We've also we're teaching this procedure grade wide because I do have the rest of my grade level working with me on this. So we're teaching paragraph attack, where we're teaching them to analyze and figure out what the author is asking in the questioning or in the questions, and teaching them to match their answer to the actual question, and checking for their own understanding. Did I truly answer this question? And so
That's strong. Yeah.
we're
That's
doing
good.
that all the way through math and everything else, so we can make sure that, kind of like Brindy was saying, that they know how to apply these concepts in all areas, but we're monitoring it in that one standard.
That's good. Put that down in your theoretical one. This is what Hattie's found. Make that so it's not just pie in the sky. I just came up with this idea, but Hattie found it, somebody else found it, and we're trying it. Yeah, that's a good thing. Chris, anything you want to say?
I like that you've narrowed it down, and I've liked that you've gone to another line of evidence rather than just Acadians and Dibbles to kind of do your assessment. I didn't catch, though. I caught that you were doing the questioning in that, but what is assessment going to be your written assessment, or what is the assessment going to be then?
The assessments we're gathering from different, like we've done some from ReadWorks, we've done some from the monitoring from CKLA. So we're using a variety of texts with ask and answer questions. So it's multiple choice as well as response to text.
And are you do this as a team so that you can compare data?
Yep.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Any other people want to ask them a question? Be careful of these 4 students that can't read. You've got 2 studies going. You've got a general study of helping everybody question, and then 4 people that can't read at all. They're outliers, and you'll have them all the time. But don't let them take over your study or be the main focus, but just be aware that they're there. But watch where you can get off. You can really get off balance here and say, go into those 4 and not the rest of them.
Yeah, they've sent me into a panic a little bit. So
Yeah, they do. And you might put too much focus on them. Anybody else have a question for her or a comment?
I would like to know what the protocol is, the questioning protocol. I know you shared it, you called it something because you're using it throughout all content. But what is the
Metacog, so we use think aloud, and so we'll stop and say, okay, what does this mean? What is the author asking us to figure out, and where can we find that in the text? And so we're checking our answers against what the text is asking us, or the questions are asking us. And it's really interesting. We did one just this week, a CFA this week on frogs. And so we're flip-flopping back and forth between informational and narrative. And it was interesting to watch the students. I was looking at the beginning of the year, and of course that was 0 instruction, but on August 24th, I gave them a informational text with questions, and it had 8 questions. 88% of my students did not pass that. So that was without any
There's your
instruction.
reason. Yep.
Yeah.
There's your theory. There's your basis.
And we're now at 30% as of today not proficient.
That
And
is
that's just slowing them down and teaching them to stop and think. They think aloud. What does the author want me to find? What are my key words that are guiding this question? And then also needing to prove where they found it in the text.
so. May I just ask, is that's intrinsic in you now? Did you have a cheat sheet that was kind of like a cue card that, you know, step by step, this is how I'm going to lead my students through this experience or this?
Or just brilliant. Are you just brilliant?
No, no, I have a team member. Well, first of all, last 2 years ago, we went through metacognitive strategies. Our district is big on John Hattie. And so we narrowed some down that we wanted to focus on as a school. Questioning was one of those, feedback, mnemonics. And so we just, as a team, when I talked to him about our problem and what I was doing for this project, we decided that questioning would be one of the greatest, it had the greatest effect size, but it was also one way to reach all areas of the curriculum, but we could focus in, because as a grade level, we are low in finding the main idea, which I don't understand, and ask and answer.
Yeah, that's good application to the local problem, and that's a good implication of positive social change. Yeah, you're covering a lot of really good areas.
Yeah, and we just addressed it in the PLT. So we're in our PLT. So we're constantly talking about what strategies, how's this going, what improvements are we seeing, and I just honestly, the first couple of weeks, I had a list written on my board of things that we were practicing. And part of that was our rules and our procedures. Part of it was cubes for math, which is another way. And so I would just tell my kids, this is our success criteria this week. We're going to practice these. And every time we practiced, I put a check mark. And so by the end of the week, we were supposed to have 5 check marks by each strategy or thing. And so I don't know if that answers your question, but there are so many things that we need to do at the first of the year. I had to make a task list on the board, and then the kids and I held each other accountable.
Yeah, there's good accountability there, and I like the way you're working with the different people. Are you finding any difficult teachers like we just talked about? Are you finding, no? Well, good.
No, but we have, I mean, we're like the dream PLC. We love, you know we can't survive without each other, and we'd rather sit back and listen to the other person than
And who did all that background work? That's just normal in your school, or somebody's a leader? What made that so cooperative?
Well, I think it's just the team.
Oh, I've been through some PLCs or cat fights, literal cat fights, and so, oh, good, you're lucky there then. Any other comments for her?
Lucky. Yeah.
Any comments? Lauren, will you be next? Everybody get your papers out and see what Lauren's doing now.
Yes, I can go next. I hope my dog doesn't bark in the background, so I'm sorry if she does. So, my overall study